Let's bring in Compass CEO Robert Reffkin here at Post 9 for a look at what today's decision might mean to the housing market. We did get, again, mortgage applications in their old habit, maybe, of ticking down a bit this morning.
Yeah, so we're no longer having a view that mortgage rates are going to go to the fives next year or even the following. We believe mortgage rates will stay at around the 6% range for the next 2 years. As a result, next year, I would expect prices to go up 3 to 5%, units probably another 5%. But I don't think we're going to see a big jump in 2025.
Did you have high hopes for a 5 handle?
I did 2 months ago, before the election. That was the view back then. But then with the election, the view between tariffs, that in inflationary policies, that the 10-year would actually increase and not decrease at the same level that we previously thought it would.
But you have come on the show before and talked about the 5 Ds, and life goes on, and sometimes you have to move. It doesn't matter where the markets are. Where do you stand on that view? How much friction will there be if rates are stubborn?
Yeah, again, I think the market will improve. Even now, pending applications to purchase a home are up 10% year over year. We had today on a year-over-year basis, the purchase mortgage applications are up 6%, prices are up 5% year over year. So I think things are improving, but very modestly and off a very low base. The key issue that we have is there's just not enough inventory. It's 19% more than this time last year, 20% less than pre-pandemic levels. At Compass, we've been actually able to create inventory by taking the risk out of listing. Here's what I mean. A lot of sellers don't want to list until the spring market because they don't want days on market to accrue during the holidays.
Right.
Exactly. And so we've gone to our sellers and said, we will take days on market, price drop history off the listing. We will not syndicate to third parties that put those negative insights on the listing. And as a result, we have over 6,000 listings today that are only on Compass. In Manhattan, over 5% of all the listings in Manhattan are only on Compass as private exclusives.
So creating marginal inventory is the effort. Does that mean you think spring could be an upside surprise?
Spring will see upside. I don't know if it'll be an upside surprise.
What's the inventory look like at this point?
Yes, so the inventory right now has been increasing across the country. Every state has more inventory than it did this time last year. So that's a positive. But again, it's 20% less than pre-pandemic levels. There is a chance that by the end of next year, we'll be basically at pre-pandemic levels, 2019.
I mean, it's still short, though, of where it needs to be, right? To bring buyers back and get prices down?
There's not enough inventory. If we want to see prices stabilize or even come down, we'll need much more inventory. We're seeing more inventory in Florida, in Texas, but we're seeing a shortage in the north, in northeast, as well as the mid-Atlantic.
Which is more economical right now, buying or renting?
I would say buying. I mean, prices have stabilized pretty heavily over the course of the last 2 years, while in places like Manhattan, rentals are up 36% over the last 3 years.
You say much more inventory. Can you give us the specifics just so we get an idea in terms of percentages, what we're talking about? Yeah,
much more, 15% more inventory this time next year.
That's what we need. You said we need much more inventory for prices. What's that number?
That number is 20%.
20%.
Yeah, 20% more inventory. We're back at 2019 levels.
Okay.
And the current view, when you look at research, is it will be around 15% more this time next year. But there could be an upside surprise to the 20%.
All right. Interesting story on the tape about Lennar spinning its land holdings into a separate company would allow it to go a little more asset light. You think we're going to be relying on building, or is it really all about existing coming back to life?
Look, the new administration is going to be encouraging building by deregulation, encouraging people to take federal land, but that's going to take time. That's years and years in the making.
And then we don't know what's going to happen to workforces and immigration, things like that.
Exactly. Potential deportation will
lumber prices.
Exactly. Will create a labor shortage, and that can increase prices of homes because it'll increase the cost to build.
So the easiest thing is for people to list their home, period.
The easiest thing is for people to list their home, but also taking the playbook of the builders. So the builders don't put their listings on all these third-party sites. They protect them from days on market, price drop history, from estimates, valuation estimates that are less than the value of the home they're trying to sell. So that's where Compass Private Exclusives came from in Coming Soons. It came from this playbook that we saw the builders use. We're just giving that playbook to the individual homeowner.
You keep weathering surprise after surprise, Robert. Appreciate you coming on again.